You know, Izzat, I remember you shared with me one of the highlights of your journey as a birder is this your participation in My Garden Birdwatch. Yeah, and much as you are proud to be to play a big part in My Garden Birdwatch, I'm equally proud to be wearing this T-shirt that says "Rock with Garden Birds," and it's actually written at the back here. Yeah, My Garden Birdwatch. So Izzat, could you tell us a little bit more about what is the significance of this My Garden Birdwatch event?
Okay, so My Garden Birdwatch is a volunteer project run by the Bird Conservation Council of Malaysia. So it is the first nationwide bird count that is being done annually. So everywhere in Malaysia, they participate during one weekend in month of July, where we ask the public to go out and count the bird near their house or near the park in their area. So it is kind of like we are promoting the concept of citizen scientists, where we ask public who don't have any scientific knowledge, or if they do have, it will be very good, but we ask any public to go out and do the bird count for us, and the data will be analyzed and fed by our scientists.
Right. Yeah. When you say we approach the public, and then we say it is done nationwide, all over Malaysia, through what kind of platform? Where do you distribute this kind of information? Is it with the schools, with MNS branches? How do you get awareness to the public about My Garden Birdwatch?
Okay. Usually we will try to reach them through our mailing list, and we also have our website www.mygardenbirdwatch.com.
Yes.
And then most of the time we try to connect with them through the social media platform.
Right.
And of course the MNS newsletter.
Right.
And previously we also had conducted several series of bird watching trip for the beginners.
Right.
Yeah. So during that time we will introduce them to the garden birds. Yeah.
In our conversation so far, you have highlighted the importance of birds, the awareness of birds, and bird watching. Why? What is so important about birds?
Yeah. So bird watching is not just looking at birds, because bird is a part of nature and it is a very important component in nature. So we see bird as an indicator for the health of environment. So if you notice, there are a lot of birds in that area, so it means that that environment is good enough to sustain the population of birds there. If you see lesser number, there might be a disturbance in the area. So through bird watching, we can get people to notice these changes. Yeah.
So when we have annual events like raptor counts, bird counts, so all this helps the government or NGOs to monitor the health of the biodiversity in the environment. How does it work?
It's more or less like that.
Yeah.
So basically we using the data from this bird count to give an input to our local government on how they can manage their like park or forest reserve, so that it can be beneficial both to the birds and also to the birders.
Right.
Yeah. So for bird watching, because we spend a lot of time in the jungle, so we also become like their eyes for the enforcement police or enforcement agency. So we can help to deter poachers, because usually when we encounter any trapping, we will try to report it, or at least educate the trappers on why they shouldn't do this kind of job, because there's a lot more to it. Because if you catch one bird, then that's it, you sold it to other people. And just like that.
Right.
Yeah, because birds can offer more than that actually.
Right. Here I would want to check with you then, Izzat, what are the key challenges faced by birders or actually by birds, yeah, that you have seen as you go through your bird watching journey?
I think the one of the biggest challenge that is faced by us birders is the shrinking of the habitat, because many of the green lung or green areas has been sacrificed for the sake of development. So nowadays there are not much place that we can go except for the forest reserve, of course with the permit, or Taman Negara. So these protected areas is still well managed by the government, but those other like small pocket of green areas, they are not under any protection and they are quite vulnerable to the development. So that's why it is important for the bird watchers to go out there and record the birds that are sighted in the area, because some of the birds might be a very endangered species. Yeah, so if the bird is very endangered and they can only be found in that area, so that show the importance of saving or conserving that area. Yeah.
You know, nature lovers, I have had the big honor of being part of Izzat's bird watching group a few times, and during those times Izzat has always been very, very sharing in helping us to look at details of the birds, you know, like white-throated fantail, how this white-throated fantail is only found in Fraser's Hill, for example. And as I remember, one of the key learnings I had with Izzat was when we go out early in the morning to watch birds, he says, now look for the street lamps. The street lamps attract insects, and then the birds will come to pick the insects. All of this, I think, are interrelated. The birds, the insects, clean environment, and the way we need to ensure we have this kind of factors that allows for healthy nature and healthy birds and healthy bird watching habits. Yeah. So Izzat, what else would you like to share with us about bird watching, or how would you like to share your passion with youngsters then? I think actually our young ones need to be exposed to the beauty of bird watching.
Nowadays, with the advanced usage of the social media, so the picture of bird care is readily accessible, and even all the field guides on the birds of Malaysia is readily accessible online, or you can get field guide at the bookstore like Kinokuniya or other place popular MPH. So to me, in terms of the information is already out there.
Right.
And now we just need to encourage the young people to try to join this hobby for the bird watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To attract them to move away from the tablets and go out into the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a walk in lake gardens, perhaps. Yeah. Or take a walk in the parks and look out for birds.
Yes, because bird watching, like I said earlier, it is more than just looking at birds. Because for me personally, during bird watching, you walk over a distance, so kind of like count like an exercise.
Yes.
And when there is no birds, you're also looking at other stuff like all the greeneries, all the new plants that you might not have encountered before.
Right.
New insects, or if you're lucky, even new mammals.
Right.
So when you are doing bird watching, it is more than just bird. You are immersing yourself in the nature. Yeah.
And how can we live without nature? Yeah. This recent lockdown highlighted to us how important it is for us to be in nature, to be exposed to the wonderful greenery. So thank you, Izzat. Thank you so much for sharing with us the wonders of bird watching and the importance that we maintain our environment to be able to continue with this healthy hobby.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Swee Peng.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. And do remember to click on the subscribe button for our MNS Naturegrapher. Bye.
Bye.